let's get started. Now, so we are going to do test automation using Appium, right? And so, what is mobile testing, first of all? Let me ask you a few questions, team. And what is mobile testing? And what you generally, all right. So, what you generally focus, on while you test mobile application. All right. So let me ask you in a bits and pieces. What is mobile testing? Okay. So what is mobile testing? Is it like, when you say mobile testing, is it testing the mobile phone or testing the mobile application? Testing of mobile apps, that's what we generally do, right? We generally test mobile applications, right? So in a particular devices, in multiple devices, I could say, right? So we test mobile applications in Android, and we test mobile applications in iOS, and we test mobile applications in Windows Mobile, and so on, all right? And all right, team, and now let's say if you're going to test mobile applications, and so what you have to tell me any 3 test cases that you will write, when you test a mobile application. Don't tell me like, you will test login and you will test for logout feature, and you will test sending email and receive email, not that kind of requirement that I'm saying. So if you are going to test mobile application, tell me any three test cases that you think very important for testing mobile application. Okay, app installation. All right, so installation testing, right? Okay. Mobile responsiveness, right? Okay. And UI, okay. Compatibility, right? Okay, that's fantastic. All right, team, and I get multiple answers and functionality and builders working and how it behaves in mobile. All right, that's great. So now, so when you say mobile applications, and first let's understand what is mobile application types. The mobile applications could be in any of this type. Okay, there are 3 types of mobile application. Native applications. So what is native applications? Specific to a mobile platform. All right, and downloaded and installed, updated from the respective store, and developed using the platform, SDK's development tool, and use platform specifics and stuff and so on. Which is development cost is very high, and that's what the native applications are. All right, so web applications, and so web applications are the one that are accessed through URL in a mobile browser. Okay, and installation and upgrade is not required since it is happening within your browser level, and cannot be used offline. You have to be connected to internet. Access to very few sensors such as GPS, etc., and browser compatibility testing is much needed, and can support multiple platforms with one app, resulting into a lower cost development. Now, we have another type of applications in mobile devices, which is called hybrid applications. So what is hybrid applications? Is the hybrid applications are the combinations of your native app and web app. All right. So the hybrid apps download and installed from the respective stores, and the feature of native app, including UI, icon, and merged with the web app content, right? And so that's what about hybrid applications, right? Now, so mobile specific test. If you are going to test any mobile applications, and these are all the tests that you have to implement. You have to test functionalities of an application, and you have to test multiple input methods. When you say inputs, like, you have camera input, we have keyboard input, we have sound input. So these are all the things that you have to focus on, and you have to test for orientation. Some applications will work in landscape, and some application does not support portrait, and that kind of a orientation is what that you have to test. UI testing, where you test multiple GUIs, and testing for OS guidelines, we have to check if the application meets the specific guidelines provided by the operating system provider. And testing for interrupts, and which is much needed, which is very important. And many of you did, none of you said, like, testing for interrupts. This is one of the very important test cases that you have to implement when you test mobile applications. Say, for example, you're working on a mobile, you're working on a mobile application, and suddenly you get pop-up messages, or suddenly you get a call, and suddenly you get, like, battery notifications. So what happened at those times? Is it resuming from the place where you left, or the application crashes? What happens to that? That is what testing for interrupts. And testing on different networks, right? So that is also one of the tests. Testing for different preferences, whatever you have saved, and testing the applications in a different battery levels. So these are all some of the mobile specific test that has to be implemented while you test any mobile applications, right? Now there are common type of testing that has to be done on mobile applications. We have to focus on functional testing, and we have to focus on installation testing, and we have to focus on security testing, and we have to focus on performance, usability, database compatibility, and memory testing. All right, so these are all the type of testing that has to be done under the mobile testing, right? Slides are not changing. Unable to see your screen share. But oh my goodness. I'm sorry about it, team. I think there are technical issues. And so this is what I was talking, and now can you see the screen? All right. Now, okay, great. So now native applications, and I was talking about the web applications, which are accessed through URL in mobile browser, and I was talking about hybrid applications, and which is a combination of your native app and web app. Mobile specific test. So these are all the mobile specific tests that has to be implemented for testing mobile applications. Functionality testing, input testing, orientation testing, UI testing, testing for OS guidelines, testing for interrupts, testing for different networks, and testing for preferences, testing for battery life. Right? And when it comes about mobile application types, and the type of testing that has to be focused in while testing mobile applications are functional, installation, security, performance, usability, database compatibility, and memory testing. So these are all the type of testing that has to be implemented while you test any mobile applications. All right, team. So any queries, any questions, please let me know. Build is working on our device compatibility. Yeah. All right. Okay. All right, and now let me ask you a question, team. And what is APM? Okay, APM is a testing tool, right? Or APM is a testing framework. right? So what is APM team is native applications. All right. So Shiv Prasad. So what is native applications? The native applications are specific to a mobile platform. Okay. And developed using any SDKs and downloaded and installed from the respective store is what native app. Say for example, your calculator is an example of a native application. Which is specific to your native mobile platform, right? Is that clear, Shiv Prasad? And are you clear? Let me know if you still have any doubts. All right. Now, what is APM? APM is a freely distributed open source mobile application UI testing framework. And APM allows you to test a native application, web application, and hybrid application. All the type of application can be tested using APM. And it supports both your physical device and as well as your emulator. All right. APM as a framework wrapper that translate Selenium WebDriver command. If you know Selenium and APM will be very simple for you. It will be very very simple for you, right? APM supports all the languages that have Selenium client libraries, like Java, JavaScript, PHP, Ruby. APM supports all these programming languages. APM supports both iOS and Android, all right? And so this is all some of the features of APM. And all right, you're welcome, Shiv Prasad. Now, let's practically see how it works, team. Because I always prefer to have a practical one. And now, to work with APM team, and the configuration is very important. Okay, and it's a very lengthy process that you have to do. So, in the interest of time, what I have done is I have I've made notes of what we have to do to set up and start working with APM tool, right? So team, the first step that we have to do is that we have to download and install JDK, right? That's a step number one. Step two, we have to set up Java_home, and step three, we have to set up path, all right? And step four, we have to set up and we have to download and install Eclipse. Now, if I go to environment path, I've already done everything, in my previous lectures. And if I go to environment path and I have my Java_home, right? So this is the home variable. And also, if I get into the path variable, if I get into path, and I can even see Java path here. Yep, I can see JDK path here, right? And step one, and I have already installed JDK. I've done Java_home, and I have set up path for Java. That's done. And Eclipse I have already installed. Now creating simple Java application, if it is working. Yeah, yesterday we checked everything was working, and in a Cucumber programs. So step 8, we have to install Android Studio, right? So now what you have to do is that, team, and you just need to say download Android Studio, and we are going to focus on the Android mobile testing. Okay, since most of us are using Android mobiles, and I thought I will show you all the demonstration with your Android mobiles, right? Now, so to work with Android mobiles, and what we have to do is that first step, we have to download and install Android Studio. The reason I need Android Studio, team, is very simple. I'll get all the support. I'll get all the plugin details. I'll get all the drivers to test your Android applications when I install my Android Studio. That's number one. And number two, another important reason to install your Android Studio is to have your emulator, right? So what I have done, I've downloaded. You can download your Android Studio from this link, and you can install it. All right. So download Android Studio. So this step is done, and then after that, I need to create Android underscore home variable. After installation, and you have to go to your C drive and users and the respective user. And if you navigate to Android, app data. This is app data here. Or I'll go to. All right. So if I go to app data and if I go to local and if I go to Android, I can see SDK here, right? And all I need to do is that I just need to copy the path, and then I need to go to my path variable and say Android underscore home. Just paste the path that you have copied from that place. All right. So that's another step that you have to do. And after this, the next step that you have to do is that we need to add this path, this 3 path, to your path variable. If you get into the environment variables, and if you go to path now, you can see Android SDK tools, Android tools, and platforms. Right. So there are 3 very important path that you have to add here, right? And so if you go to in the app data, you have tools, right? So this is one path that has to be stored in the path variable. And after that, under the tools, we have bin, right? So this is another path that has to be stored under the path variable. And after that, and you also need to add one more, which is called the platform tools, right? Yeah, the platform tools. So all these 3 items has to undergo within your path variable. That's another step. And the next step now is to check, is to just open your Android Studio and check if you can create your own project. That I've already done. The next step, what we have to do is that we need to download and install Appium tool. All right. So now, team, with step 10, your setup is done. Okay, your Android setup is done. From step 12, step 12, what we are doing is we are going to set up. You're going to install Appium tool. For installing your Appium tool, what you have to do is that just go to Google and say download Appium. So you will get appium.io, and you can download. I have downloaded Appium desktop for OS X, Windows, and Linux, and so on. Right. So I have downloaded this one, and so once you download, you could see Appium symbol here. If you look at this. All right, team, and so team, the step 1 that you have to do is that you have to download and install JDK. Step 2 is we have to set up Java underscore home, and step 3 is we have to set up a path, for Java, and JDK. Now, step 4, you have to download and install Eclipse. And step 5, we'll create simple program on Java and see if it is working. And then downloading Selenium jar and everything we have done in the earlier session. Now, Android Studio is what that we have. Android Studio is what that we have to download. And if you go Google and say download Android Studio, so you can download Android Studio from here. And then after that, we have to create environment variable. So in the environment variable, and if you look at it, I have my Android underscore home variable. And in the Android underscore home variable, and I've copied this path, right? And I've copied, I went to app data. After installing my after installing my Android Studio, and I'll go to app data, and I can find right. So I'll go to app data, and I can click on local, and I can see Android there and SDK. All right. So team, please remember this has to be stored under the Android underscore home variable. And after that, the 3 different path, I'll even put it in Notepad. Right. So after that, so this has to go under Android underscore home. And after that, the path variable has to be updated with the following path. So you need to update this one, and you need to update this one. Right. And after that, you need to update this one. So this 3 path, has to be stored in the environment variables, and I've already done everything. If you look at it, if you look at the path, so I have already updated my path variables. Now, team, after this, we have to download the Appium tool. So to download Appium tool, just go to appium.io, and you will have download Appium option there. Just click on download Appium option, and so you can see Appium for Mac, or Appium server for Windows, or Appium server for Linux. Whatever the server that you want, you can download the appropriate ones. And now, so these are all the client libraries, and the client libraries, if you want to write the programming language in Java, or if you want to use JavaScript or C#, whatever the language binding that you want to use, you can also download that appropriate one. And so that's the team. I have downloaded everything already. Just wanted to show you what are the items that are needed to work with Appium tool, right? So now the next step is to open the emulator through the batch file, right? So let me check if you have any question meantime. All right. All right, team. And now, what I have done is I've opened my Android Studio. Team, just a question for you. What do you think emulator is about? What is emulator? The notepad screen? Yeah, I'll do that for sure. Uh, it's like Android mobile. Okay. So, team, a question for you. What is emulator? Give virtual experience of an app. Okay. Uh-huh. It's like Android mobile. Okay. Testing a mobile application without having real physical device. Okay. Uh-huh. All right. So we get multiple answers, right? What is emulator? It's a virtual experience of an app, or it's like Android mobile, or replication of mobile, or it's basically a virtual environment. All right. So it's a virtual environment for running your mobile applications. All right. Great. Now, you asked me to open the notepad. Meantime, I'll even open that notepad. Right, so there you go. So these are all the steps that you have to do to work with Appium tool, right? So now, team, what I have done is I have opened my Android Studio now, and I'll go to tools. I'll go to AVD Manager, and if I go to AVD Manager and I have created the emulators, right? The virtual devices. Now, Sarvanan is the one that I have created. And if you want to create another one, and you can just click on create virtual device, and you can pick up whichever mobile that you want, Pixel 4 or 3, or there'll be predefined set of mobile devices. But however, you can have new hardware profile, and you can create a new profile also. That's feasible, right? Or you can pick up the existing one from here. Right, so then you just need to provide next, and whatever the Android version that you want to use, you need to provide that one and say next, and then it'll ask you name end of it. You need to provide the name of the virtual machine and so on, right? So that's how the emulator will be created. Now, what I have done, team, I have already created one emulator, right? So to open that emulator, the thing that we have to do is that to open the emulator, I need to go to the path, right? Now, to open the emulator, what I need to do is that I need to go to C drive users and my app data location, and under the SDK, I have my emulator, right? And so every time, what I need to do is that I need to go to command prompt. In the command prompt, I need to provide this location, and then I have to say emulator -avd and the emulator name, right? So this is to open the emulator. Every time, getting into command prompt and opening the emulator, it's time consuming. So instead of that, what I've done, I've created one batch file, and so when you open this batch file, automatically it'll open that appropriate emulator what you have configured, right? So now I'll just double click on this batch file, and there you go. Now you could see. Can you guys see my screen now? So there you go, team. And so the emulator is open, right? All right. So now this is the emulator that I've configured, and I want to do all the testing on this particular emulator. I'll also show you one example how to test on the real devices. I'll also walk you through on that. Team, can you see my screen? All right, that's great. Now, okay, team. So we have got the emulator, and now I want to do all my testing on this particular emulator, right? So what we will do is that I'll walk you through on a few programs and tell you how it works. The first tip, team, what I want to do is that I want to open this application, which is called API demos. All right. Now, so this is the standard sample application for testing or to work with Appium tool. This is the standard sample application. All right, team, and now. Okay, and now what I'm going to do team, and the first program, and it's just a simple Java program if you look at it, and the class that I've created within the main method, and what I'm doing is I'm just creating a variable here. I'm calling this as app path, right? So in which I'm just giving this path. So if you navigate to this particular path, and you could see the sample application, right? So this is the sample application that I want to load and open within the emulator, right? So now that is a path that I have provided, and the second step that I have to do is that I need to create desired capabilities object, right? So in Appium, every environment setup will be done as part of your desired capabilities, right? As a desired capabilities. Now, in the capabilities, I need to just provide only two arguments, right? The first thing, team, I just need to say set capability, and the first thing that I need to tell the Appium tool is on which emulator or real device that I want to open the application. I want to work with the Sarvanan emulator, right? The name of my emulator is Sarvanan. Not necessarily you have to provide the full name, but you can even just say emulator. It will open the appropriate emulator that you have configured. That is open, right? So it's always a good practice to give the complete name. So I have provided my name of the emulator, and as well as the extension that it is emulator. All right, so that's the first step, and the second step that you have to do is that app path. So the app that you want to work with, right? So the app path technically has this URL, and now so this will be loaded into this particular capability. Now after this, we are opening Android driver with the following URL. Now this URL represents a local host team. Wherever your Appium server has been stored, you have to provide that particular URL. And if you open Appium server, I've already installed the Appium desktop client and desktop server. Now, if you open the Appium server, sometimes it takes time to open. Let me clear my temporary files. All right, there you go, it's open. All right, team. Now, I think there are two windows, multiple windows open. All right, team. Now, if you look at it, local host, the IP address of this machine is local host, so 00, and the port number is 4723, which is the default one. And with the default detail, I just say start server. Now, if you look into the program, and I've given 127.0 dot, which is this IP address is the local host IP address, and 4723 is a port number that I've provided. And what I'm doing is I'm just storing the desired capabilities to this particular Appium server, right? Okay, that's it, team. So that's what we have to do, to open the application. Now let's do a quick execution and see what's happening. What is happening? Sometimes that's a problem. It's not able to get the device. Okay. It happens, it will be working, but at the very important moment, it'll stop working. It happens to me very frequently, but that's okay. Let me start my emulator again. Again, the same issue. All right, team. So, meantime, any questions for me? All right. So now let's run this. There you go, team. It's opening Appium settings, and now it will open up the application. Yep, there you go. So now the application is launched, right? Okay. So now what I want to do is that, team. I just want to work with this one. So what I want to do is that I want to click on preferences, and then I want to click on preference dependencies, and I want to click on Wi-Fi, and I want to click on Wi-Fi settings. And I want to enter the Wi-Fi name, and I want to say OK. So and then I want to close the application. That's a step which I wanted to do. Team, in Android, if I want to identify the object and its properties, what I have to do is that The framework also can be integrated with Cucumber. All right, Swati is, absolutely is, and there'll be one framework, there'll be one common project, which is called Cucumber, from which we will be executing the Appium script and Selenium script and REST API script. Yes, I'll also show you one demo how it works. All right, and but the time is very short. In 15 minutes, I'll do my level best to do that. Right. And team, now, if you look at the team and the steps that I've done, as per the earlier ones, and all are same, right? So this statement is going to tell you like, implicit wait, default time is like, 0, right? And I want to say like, the wait time is like, 10 seconds, as in global wait state. Right now, it's very similar to Selenium team, and it's very similar to Selenium. So you just need to say mighty.find element by XPath, and you can identify the element by ID, or you can identify the element by class name, and all the Selenium commands are supported here. Now, in the XPath, the question is, how do you capture the properties of the elements, right? So how would you capture the properties of the object? Now, to do that, what we are going to do is that we are going to use something called UI Automator. So I've created the UI Automator as a batch file, and technically what you have to do is that you have to go to this location and provide a UI Automator. You have something called UI Automator, and just copy this. Technically, if you go to this location and you have something called UI Automator Viewer, every time navigating to this location would be like very difficult. So I've created as a batch file, and if you just double click on this, so the batch file will be open. I mean, so the UI Automator will be open through the batch file. Now, just click on this device screenshot. So the moment you click on the device screenshot, it will capture the screenshot of your Android emulator or whatever the Android that has been attached to this device. Now, what I'll do, team, I'll just open that API demos application, and now I'll just say capture the screenshot. All right, team. Now, if you see, like I have a preference, right? I want to work with preference. If I click on preference from the UI Automator, and I can see all the properties of that particular element. Now, it has a text property which is called preference, and it has index property, it has ID property, it has class property, package, context descriptions, checkable, check. There are multiple properties that are available, right? And it's always preferred to use context description if you have. All right. If you don't have the context description, then you can use ID property, and then appropriately you can use XPath and so on. All right. So now what I have done is like I have identified the properties of the element. Now, the same Selenium way, I have captured all the thing, and all of the Selenium methods like click, send keys, all the Selenium command, and mighty dot driver dot close app is a method for Appium, and in Selenium we have quit close, right? Here we have a method called close app, and which is used to close the application. Now, team, let's do a quick run and see what's happening. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not print this. Right. So now, if you look at the emulator, and you could see. After waiting for 5 seconds, it should close the application. All right, team, and so that's how we work with the simple application to just do some operations into it. Right now, meantime, I'm also checking if you have any questions. All right, now what we will do is that let me open another program. Our team, what we have done so far is like we have a sample application which is stored at this particular location, and you know this application we are loading it into the uh, you know emulator, and then we are testing the application, right? That's what the approach that we have done. What if you want to test the application that are already installed? All right. So in that case, what we have to do is that team, you have to use. Let me connect my real device, okay? And now, Tim, just give me a minute. I'm connecting my real device, and now. All right, team. So I'm installing one application which is called APK Info in my real device. So I'll just say open. So I can see all the list of applications that are installed in my mobile. Now, what I'll do, uh, let's say I want to work with YouTube, and I'll just say YouTube. There you go. And so you can see when you type YouTube and you get com.google.android.youtube, right? So team, please remember, this is nothing but the package name, right? So the package name for YouTube application is this one. So that you can see, below the name of the application, right? So this is what the package name, correct? Now, if I navigate to this, and I can see activities in Android, every page is called as activities, right? So once I open that particular package, which is the YouTube package, which page that I want to navigate to, right? So I want to navigate to the home page, right? So the com.google.android.youtube.home activity. So this is nothing but the home page. Now, what I want to do technically, team, after opening the youtube.com, then I want to navigate to the home page. So I'm just going to provide only these two parameters as my capabilities. Now, if you look at it, uh, here, desired capabilities, and platform name is going to be Android. And then after that, I want to do this on emulator. I'll also show you the demonstration in the real device, and command timeout that I'm giving 25 seconds. And then this is the package that I want to open. Package represents like an application name, right? High level. And this is the page that I want to navigate to within the application. That's it, team. That's it. So after that, I'm just saying there is a method called current package name, right? And there is a method called current activity, and there is a method called get orientation, which will display landscape or portrait. So this is all just a statement that I'm printing, and after that I'm closing my application. Now let's do the execution, and I'm going to do that on my emulator. I'll show you another example on my real device. Now let me run it. Oh my god, it's happening on my real device, and since I've connected my real device, it's happening on my real device. And now let's have a look at it. So it's opening YouTube, and then it's closing it up. Now, if you look at it, it's printing the package, the package name, and it's printing the activity name, and it's printing the orientation, right? So that is how we can work with the already installed application, right? So whereas the first option in this place, what happens is in this program, every time it will install the application, right? So, but if you want to just open the application and start testing it, this is the way that we can do, with the help of the package name and the activity name. Now, um, now the next step that I want to do is that. Okay, let me show you how to work with browser applications, right, team? Now, what I've done, I've done my desired capabilities, and this is the device name that I want to work with, and this is the browser that I want to work with, and the Chrome driver is what that I want to work. It's similar to Selenium, and this statement is needed, and if you don't have this statement, sometimes it works, and so in some machines it doesn't work. So this is the immutable map W3C false. This is mandatory, and because without that, sometime I saw the script was throwing up an error. All right, so rest everything is similar to Selenium team, and I'm just saying mighty.get this URL, and after that I want to send this keys. I want to send this key. So rest are all the items which are similar to Selenium. Now, how about we do a quick execution of this on my real device and see what happens. Oops. There you go, team. It's navigating to facebook.com, the Chrome browser, entering the username and entering the password. So this is how we test, the web applications in mobile devices, right? And the earlier example that we have seen is testing your native applications, right? And this is how we can test, web applications and mobile devices, right? Okay, right, team. And now, how about executing the Appium program in Cucumber framework, right? So now what I'll do is that, team, I will I have just created one. I've just created one today. Now, if I go to the feature file, yesterday we were working on this feature file, right? This is the one that we have created yesterday. Now, today I have created this feature file, and this feature file, just for you to demonstrate, for you to just understand. Now, here I'm just going to say verify YouTube, and then given setup device detail. When the user opens YouTube, then the application is closed. There are 3 items that I've done. Now, if I go to this and in this setup device detail, I have all my capability details done, right? So this place, I have all my capability details. And in the user opens YouTube, I've done package name and activity details, and the server details, everything has been provided. In the app closed, what I'm doing, I'm just clicking saying mighty.quit. And I'm also printing the orientation. That's it. So that's a simple thing that I'm doing. And now, if you look at the pom.xml file, the the dependencies that are needed to needed for Appium is so I've these two are needed for you. One is like your Appium Java client, and another one is a Selenium dependency, right? So with the two dependencies, what you can do, you will be able to execute this successfully. Now, team, let's look at the runner file. As we were talking yesterday, and so what is this is at mobile test, right? So where is the runner file for this? Yeah, so this is the one. So in the runner file, if you look at it, and the tag that I'm executing is mobile test tag, and let's do a quick execution. But before that, I don't know in which emulator I'm working this. Whether it's happening in the emulator or the real device that I need to check. Is this the one? Right. So it's happening in Android device. Okay. And now let's run this. There you go, team. It's opening YouTube, and it's closing the application. Right. So that is how we can execute, Appium programs from Cucumber, right? And the same way, we can even, work with REST API as well. If you have any API testing from Cucumber, yeah, you can very well execute the API, scripts. Now, if you look at it, this is another example about REST API. If you look at this program, and this one. So I'm just going to get the list of employees from the particular location. So if I navigate to this, and this is my rest assured program, right? Given when and everything. So rest assured is not part of your you know part of the program or the webinar. And so just for a note, this is the URL I want to capture. This is the URL that I want to test. Using the rest assured, right? So now, if I execute my runner file, yeah, REST API. So basically, what I'm saying, I'm just gonna get all the list of employees from that particular server, right? So still executing. There you go, team, and executed successfully. And if you look at it in the log file, so this way you can see the list of data that are extracted from that particular server is this. And if you see this, team, from Cucumber, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to execute Selenium script or Appium script or REST assured. So Cucumber works as a common project or common platform from where you can control your executions, right? So, team, any question for me? How to connect real device to Appium? Okay, and what I have done, I've installed the driver. Okay, PDA net. Yeah, PDA net. So just download and install this driver in both your mobile phone and as well as your computer. All right. So this is the best driver that I've worked with. So this is the driver that I've installed on both the machines. Uh, then that's it. All you have to do is that you have to enable the USB debugging, and you have to make it developer option. You have to become a developer and enable the developer options, and then just provide the name of the device. Yeah. So just provide the name of the device. That's it. So my name, the device name is Note 10 Plus. So I've just provided the name of the device, and that's it. Right. So any other questions, team? Please share the recording sessions. I think yeah, SkillUpRight team will do that. Team, listen. I'm also giving you my contact details, right? So this is my email ID, and this is my mobile number. And if you still have any problems, if you face any challenges, and if you face any problems while you work, you can very well get in touch with me. Right? PPT Mustafa Mubin, and I will check internally, and I'll come back. If feasible, SkillUpRight team will do that. Explain a bit more regarding Cucumber, and so what exactly you are asking me, Arjun? And because yesterday we were talking about Cucumber, right? What exactly you want me to explain? All right, so you have not received any recordings, and so Team SkillUpRight, are you there? Vinod, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I'm doing it.
Vinod, can you please take care on the recording part, because I see people are saying they didn't receive the recordings.
Yeah, if they register, no, automatically they will get.
Automatically they'll get. Do they
Yeah,
have any time limit? Because they have not
after
received.
4 hours.
Every day, is it?
Yeah, every day.
But there are people who are saying they did not receive the recordings.
I think they must have received their a link. I will check. I will check this way.
Otherwise, is that feasible to send the recordings to all of them
Yeah, I will send
once again?
now only. The chat
Okay.
window only I will send.
All right. Okay, that's great. All right,
Yeah,
team, and thank you, thank you so much.
yeah.
Team, your issue is taken care. We'll do our best in supporting you. Is Cucumber similar to TestNG? Uh, I have experience working on TestNG, so just wanted to understand how Cucumber works. Well, TestNG, Arjun, it can be integrated with Cucumber. TestNG can be integrated with Cucumber, but technically speaking, TestNG has more of an annotation, right? But Cucumber is basically a framework, for organizing your test artifacts. Okay, I won't say it's exactly like TestNG, because Cucumber uses the concept of TestNG, I would say, but to an extent, not completely. But both are different, actually. Both are different concept altogether. Right? Sometimes browser open in mobile. Sometimes browsers open in mobile when run with Appium, but not able to open website. So, Uman Kabadia, and if you face any issues, and please write to me, and I can look at the code and I can help you out on that. Is it okay with you? Okay. All right. So I believe you have my email ID as well, and so this is my email ID, and reach out to me. If you have any issues while you test an application. I can even put it in the chat window if you. All right, team. So, any doubts? Any questions for me? Any questions for me? Any questions, team? We would be happy to take you on the questions. All right, everyone, and it was a really great 3 days spent with all of you, and we have done our level best, in terms of walking you through on the required, areas, and we have put in our best effort, and we have done our best, in terms of understanding your need, and then walking you through the topics and the concepts, and great time, team, and it was really a great time, and bye for everyone. Take it then. Welcome everyone. Vinod.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Vinod, thank you so much for your support, and
Yeah.
I know, thanks for being all the way and helping us out.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Vinod, and take care, everyone. Bye then.
Bye. Bye, sir.